Welcome back to Mara's podfics. So this will be my second podfic, so like and subscribe. I'll be reading a dreary podfic called "It's Saturday, Remembering We're Alive" by Drarrelie. Summary: When Draco wakes up alone in an unfamiliar bed, doubt inevitably creeps up on him. Notes: It's Saturday, it's noon. I just couldn't help myself. And this instantly is totally Sprectic's fault, by the way. Thank you so much for sharing your spark of brilliance. I promise this will be the last you hear of me today. Saturday 1st, January 2000 noon. Draco really doesn't want to let go of the pleasant dream still lingering just beyond his grasp. He knows he should. Mother will berate him if he's late to breakfast. Please, just a little longer. Harry was in it. He remembers that much. Not that that's anything new. Harry's been a recurring character in his dreams for ages. Still, this one felt different somehow, more vivid, more tangible. They had been laughing. Salazar. Draco can't even remember the last time he laughed so freely. And there had been stares and kisses. Oh, the kisses. Draco smiles and rolled over to lie on his back, noticing his body aching in places it never has before, at least as far as he can remember. Mattress feels heavy underneath him, though the sheets smooth against his sore muscles and the duvet soft like a fluffy cloud. Despite his best efforts, the dream inevitably fades. Draco reluctantly lets go, blinking his eyes open to, wait, this isn't the canopy. This isn't the canopy. He's been waking up in the same dark green swaths of fabric most of his life. He knows it inside and out. The unforeign black, the uneven fold right in the middle, the little stain in the upper left corner, the inch-long tear halfway down the right. This is not it. For starters, it's black, with shimmery silver dots woven into the fabric, seemingly at random. No, Draco realizes when he studies it a bit closer. Not random. They're stars. Constellation. That's Orion right there, and Cassiopeia, and Draco. There's Andromeda, and Sirius, and yes, even Leo. It's gorgeous, and Draco could probably spend the rest of his day admiring it if it weren't for the fact that he still had no idea where he is. He props himself up on his elbows and takes in his surroundings. The rich teal curtains, the elegant but cluttered desk in the corner, the neat pile of folded clothes on the chair next to him, the head-sized indication of a newly abandoned pillow. Realization dawns on him as he remembers. Harry! Draco reaches over and buries his nose in the pillow, a rare sensation of giddiness striking within him as he inhales the scent. It smells like Harry, like a forest in sunset, like comfort and safety. And Harry. They had fallen asleep in each other's arms, twice, satiated and spent after an exquisite moments of bliss. Harry had plans for them to go to Diagon Alley today to get Draco a new wand. But after a year and a half without one, there really is no rush, at least as far as Draco's concerned. He can live one less for another day if it means he'll get to spend it in this glorious bed, preferably with a sexy Gryffindor to keep him company. If Harry's not currently hiding somewhere, that is, regretting the whole thing, Draco doesn't think he is. In fact, Harry seems more than enthusiastic earlier, but who knows? It was his first time with a man, after all. What if he, in the light of day, realized it wasn't all he expected it to be? Maybe he's realized that man on man action isn't really for him, that it wouldn't be worth all the commotion it'll entail for him as a public figure. Or maybe he's realized that he isn't at all into Draco at first thought. Maybe he'd only fallen for the fantasy of an unattainable mystery man from his letters. Maybe he's realized that the real Draco doesn't hold the same allure as his imaginary namesake Harry had envisioned. Or maybe what if this was all some sort of cruel joke? A prank orchestrated by his old Slytherin classmates, a revenge for everything he's ever put them through, planned by them and executed by their very best mate, Draco's forever crush, and therefore the perfect accomplice. They'd all been aware of Draco's feeling for the man for ages. Surely it wouldn't have been too hard for them to persuade Harry to go through the scam after they found out about their correspondence. Or maybe even long before that, maybe Harry's been in on this the entire time. Or Merlin, what if it was all a game, a bet made between friends to see how easily Draco could be fooled into sharing Harry's bed? Maybe Harry's downstairs with them right now, collecting his win after having recounted the morning's escapades to endless bouts of laughter. No, surely that can't be true. His Harry would never do anything like that. His Harry is honest and kind and sweet and possibly just a figment of Draco's imagination. An imaginary man conjured up from the stack of letters Draco has no way of verifying if they actually contain any truth. What if Draco swallows? His throat suddenly felt tight, his eyes burning. No, please don't. Not now. Draco began to stave off the impending tears, tilting his head back and catching sight of a framed drawing hanging above the headboard. His drawing, the one he made for Harry for Christmas, the one he poured all his hopes and desires into, his dreams, his wishes, his bared soul, and his beating heart. Harry had framed it and hung it on his wall, just like he said he would. Surely he wouldn't have. Had all of this just been a ruse? And what about the painting downstairs? Why would he even have that if he doesn't care? And he came to the manor at midnight to celebrate Draco's freedom. He wanted to realize Draco's long forgotten wishes. He even brought Draco's old letter with him to quote from. That would certainly be an overkill for a hoax, wouldn't it? And later, Harry had been just as he promised, waiting for Draco at the time of his release, and then he had taken Draco home. Home? Draco doesn't know if it's about his mom. He's never stepped foot in it before this morning, and yet, it feels so familiar, so comforting, so right. It feels like home, possibly even more so than the manor ever has. The Black's ancestral house even unpacked the things for him. Hell, it even knew to place his diary on the left-hand bedside table together with his favorite quill. And if they were an obvious package deal, Draco turned to his side and reaches for the quill's reassuring familiarity, stopping his hand mid-air as his gaze falls on a creamy white envelope propped up against the bedside lamp. Dre, the familiar scrappy handwriting, unties the knot of worry in Draco's chest. Right next to you, Saturday 1st, 2009. Saturday 1st, January 2000. Good morning, my dragon, or rather good afternoon. Good afternoon. You were sleeping so peacefully. I didn't have the heart to wake you up. Again, sorry for doing so earlier. Sorry for doing so earlier, by the way. But you looked so gorgeous lying there next to me, all warm and smooth and lovely. I just couldn't help myself. I guess I'll take a while before I fully comprehend that you're actually here. And till then, I hope you'll forgive any impromptu need for reassurances I might assault you with. If it weren't for my grumbling stomach, I would have easily stayed here watching you sleep all day. As it is, though, it demands I it demands sustenance. So I thought I'd better head downstairs to fix us both something to eat. If you wake up before I come back, do feel free to check in the ensuite. I swear the shower is ginormous. And if you're amiable, I already have a dozen ideas for you to try in there. I already have a dozen ideas for things to try in there with you later. Anyways, it's Saturday and it's noon. Call me a puff if you like, but acknowledging it only felt right. H. P.S. I'm glad you're finally here. P.P.S. Did you notice the carvings on the headboards? Do you like them? Wait, do you think they're us or them? Draco grins, his insides fluttering as he turns around to take a proper look at the ornamented wood along the upper edge, vines spreading out in elegant curves, originated from the upper originating from the middle and stretching out towards the sides, and there in the center a reaching lion and a snake facing each other, reminding Draco of the upper half of the Hogwarts coat of arms. Unlike it, though, these two were leaning close to each other, almost nose to nose, and their tails entwined in a delicately affectionate manner. They're so obviously them. Harry and Draco, the arch archetypal. I don't know what that says. Gryffindor and Slytherin, but Harry is right. It just could be a Lucky and Esmeralda, their inner counterparts, the two that balanced them and made them whole. Draco leans back against the pillow and read Harry's note again, unknowing at the time of it being only the first of a new tradition of Saturday notes passed between them, a remembrance of sorts of their life-altering year of correspondence, soon outnumbering the letters they once exchanged as the ritual lives on in the years to come. Sometimes they're long and heartfelt and means to share emotions too heavy or too profound to voice out loud. Sometimes they're shorter, like last night was spectacular. Now let's hope one of these rascals managed to catch the snitch fairly quickly this time. My body is sore and aching from a repeat before mother arrives at 4. Or don't forget to pick up the cake and Greg on your way home. Godric, I can't believe she's already 3 years old. Sometimes they're just hastily scribbled messages on a post-it stuck on the lid of a lunchbox. No matter their content, they're always messages of love exchanged between two former advisories who found each other and themselves through 52 letters in the wake of war. Thank you for reading. That's it. That was a really good read. I was reading it for the first time. That was my first take, so it might have a little mess ups. Could you tell that I had trouble saying inevitably and a couple of the words because I'm not very good at pronouncing English words. This is my English accent for you guys. Normally I don't talk like this. I have a strong Jamaican accent, so I have to tone my voice down so you guys can understand me. I'm just yapping, but you can skip this part if you want. But yeah, that was it. I hope go give the author some love. Honestly, this was so good. And also subscribe to me, please. Yeah, that was a good read and I hope you enjoyed it. And eat and drink, obviously. You need to eat your food and drink your water, you can't survive. And this is Mara's podfics signing out. Peace.